Bro, I've been practicing guitar. You trying to hear it real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Wise men say only those rushing.
That's pretty good.
I've been practicing.
Yo, that actually, I'm not gonna lie. That was actually really good. Thank you.
Good
Yo,
version.
we gotta
yeah. That's gonna give me some.
I think
I think that's good enough just to get you.
who are you and why are you here?
I am a content creator for like 3 years. You know, I never really wanted to do it, but people were like, "You're funny, so you should do this." And I was like, "Bet." So now I've been working real hard, and you know, I started my OF. Go ahead and just kidding. Just kidding. No OF, okay? Even though I would make the most money on there, okay? And because of the size
You
of my
would make
heart.
more money. Do you think you would make more money than Amaranth?
If I smashed her. Like if I was out here smashing all of the top 100%.
Does the media portray mental health well? And we're gonna go in order. And then after everybody gives their opinion, then we're gonna go. We're gonna have everybody like argue about it if they want to. Elijah.
I think that. Oh, I was about to just say something crazy. Well, I think that the media is full of just speds. Okay, so no matter what opinion the media gives on mental health, this and that, like everybody's brainwashed. Okay, and all they're gonna do is try to make themselves look better. Okay, nobody's gonna tell you the actual truth. So when it comes to like the media and mental health, I feel like if you're looking on the media to have better mental health, then you're gonna end up jumping off a GTA bridge.
In your life, you probably know someone who like suffers from BPD or bipolar disorder or some form of like mental illness that affects their mental health, and yet like rather than talk about it, like we kind of just like push that under. We kind of like don't talk about it, and I think that the media does a really good job of kind of just like sweeping that under the rug, and as opposed to like highlighting it and like like showcasing it. Like we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Why not?
Let's like kind of freestyle now. Like let's go off the dome.
Okay, why does every single hot girl have BPD? Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it.
As a feminist, I'm gonna blame men. I blame men for that. I blame men, and we all know why. You know, as men here, I feel like we all know why. Everybody knows like a creepy guy, some creepy person that's like that you probably wouldn't trust around your niece or like any younger girl in your family. And we all and like I said, and that's like the reality. That's the world that women have to grow up in. And it's like,
common too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the world that women have to grow up in, and we. Like, I don't want to say we like collectively as men, but like a lot of men participate in that type of like they add to that mental illness that a lot of women have to go through.
Okay, so you're blaming men because of women's problems.
I think he was blaming the cycle, right? That kind of does start with men.
Yeah, it's more of the cycle that starts with men. Because okay, look, I'm not saying that it's completely on men. Well, it kind of is on men because aren't we supposed to be the protectors? We're supposed to be protecting them, so it's kind of like on us.
So what you're saying is we should protect women from themselves, and we should put on hijabs. You know what I'm saying? Tell them wear a burqa. You know, just don't let them have any freedom.
You're taking this a little bit too literal, but the solution would be basically to like raise men to be like more honorable, and if they're less hoish, then it translates, right? Like, right? You won't give a about your hoe phase until you have a daughter, and then you're like now I got a daughter, now I gotta protect her from the type of men that I was at one point in my life, right?
There's two sides of that coin. If we have better men, we have better leaders. Shout out to the last generation who failed us, but the women of today who are so-called grown, even if we were to be better men or take steps to be better men, there's the other side of the coin where there's women who don't want to be led, and you can't protect what you can't control. So a part of control is leadership. So with all these women see they idolize the short term satisfaction, not necessarily the long term.
Mhm.
They want what makes them feel good, what makes them get there quicker. They don't want to actually deal with the work you got to put into it or the amount of sacrifice you have to put into it to get there. So whatever is the quickest, the easiest, the less hardworking method, they will go to it. That's why you have stuff like OnlyFans. Instead of them going to do some of the jobs that us men actually do, like work on the road, construction, carpeting, any job that we actually have to work hard and get ourselves dirty, they can go do that too. But because you have options like OnlyFans, Fansly, what is that word when the feet finder I just found out about is the OnlyFans for feet. Don't look for it. I
Mel's already
promise you,
looking.
I was already upset about it. I was creeped the fuck out. And I'm like,
Wait, so is it unconsensual feet pics, or is it just guys?
no. Women are taking
Oh, okay.
pictures of their
Yeah.
feet and
And
put it
monetizing.
up there as exactly. And it's like a OnlyFans for feet. And then there's these fucking guys who just pay for it, and it's crazy. And because you have those type of services that exist, they're not going to go out their way to be led by a guy if they see that they can make the short-term satisfaction of the bag because they idolize the bag more than the man or whoever is going to be in the road of leadership.
So men
And that's
aren't
what
putting their foot down. Okay.
No,
But
They're not
who's
putting
the
their foot down.
controlling
no, it's not.
society,
It's not.
though?
It's not. Men aren't putting their foot down, right? Today's man's probably not putting his foot down, and he's not wanting to be a leader, right? He just wants to be quote unquote, and I can't say it because he's on Twitch. But and then women these days don't respect themselves enough. So it's two parts, or they don't want to be, or they don't want to be in a role where they're a little bit more submissive and losing their independence to let a guy do what a guy needs to do. I feel that each gender and each role plays to their strengths, right? And that's not a sexist thing to say.
Yeah, but what are
right?
women's strengths?
You
Yo,
think
the
about
way
it,
he
nurturing.
came on that was crazy. No, it definitely is nurturing.
No, that's a
So
serious
so
question.
It's nurturing.
It's definitely nurturing.
It's nurturing,
When
right?
you fall down off your bike, who's the first person you run to if you have a mom in the house? You probably run to a mom, or you probably run to like a woman in the house, right? You're not running to your dad. Your dad's gonna be like, quit being a little go wash it off. You probably run to like a woman in the house or like a mom. So like because you recognize the nurturing role in them.
Okay, that is a woman's strength, 100%.
And then a man's strength is
then
protection and providing. Just
how
if
come
we're
there
going-
isn't
if-
like too much of that now?
because we've moved the goalpost.
So what would a man's strength be?
Protection, providing,
Okay.
guidance, leadership.
I feel like
I
a
second
men
that.
naturally like are inclined to want to do, things like protection, providing and that. But I feel like the women are naturally inclined to just rebel. Am I crazy?
No, because you literally talked about. I asked you what your purpose was earlier, and you're like to make money for, right? So then, aren't you just nurturing to the current society? You're
No,
literally
bro,
taking.
you missed the
no,
point, bro. I said
but
to create a new generation. You know what I'm
No,
saying? And it
then-
just happens
then-
to be that you have
No.
need a woman to do that.
you need a woman to create the next generation.
You don't need a
If your
woman to
purpose-
bust inside of and have a baby. Is that what
No,
you're telling me?
no. If your only purpose is to literally find a woman to do that with, right? And your only purpose is to make money.
What's your
then
purpose, Jake?
My purpose is to build a legacy, build a foundation, and look at something that I could be
How
proud
do you
of
build a
and be like,
legacy?
I don't have to have kids to build a legacy. You do know that's stupid, right?
So you want to
You do
die
know-
without leaving a generation? You know what? You're the problem here in this world.
No,
Okay?
you're the problem because
Why
I
do you
could
have
literally-
sperm, Jake?
No, because I could literally start. No, Elijah. To answer your question, I could literally start a Fortune 500 company. I could provide and protect my family and leave them something to pass on, and I never had a kid.
I
Taps
just
on the
want to butt
kid.
in here. Hold on, guys. I think we got away from the topic.
We
at
got away
hand.
from the mental health topic.
Yeah, we definitely got away from the topic at hand. So I want to know though how. Okay, so I mean, I think it's good though at the same time because that means that means this topic is basically a what do you call it? Like it's a gateway topic to a lot of other issues. So clearly, let's say this: women's mental health for everybody, men's and women's mental health is it's a societal issue in a way. It's a societal issue. Now, I understand what you're saying, or what you're both saying, but at the end of the day, I think there's a problem with the culture. I think we have to understand what is this type of culture that we're leading that is leading to these type of like issues that's leading to this mental health crisis that we're dealing with. I think that's what we should talk about. That's what we should start focusing on.
Well, if you want my intake on that part, it's a loop. Ever since this got into play, social media, the likes, the comments, the shares,
Mhm.
that is you're going through an algorithm. So let's say, for instance, we all know mental health is a serious issue that we need to like handle with care. And if not, the person is just going to be a walking zombie. They're going to feel like they're by themselves 24/7. It's going to lead towards depression, sometimes suicide, and it's just it's no up from there. So when you got these businesses that promote it, like they're paying for ads to promote to kill your mental health, it's just a loop. So, for instance, I don't know if you guys know what it was like back then, because I'm an 80s baby. I don't know your ages, but I could tell you from the last generation versus this generation, there was not much of this. We was outside. There was not much of the podcasts and stuff like that. We were outside. So we didn't care about who's liking my posts. We cared about the person next door, the people in the neighborhood. Everybody knew each other. Everybody knew each other in school. We didn't care about who got a BBL on social media. We didn't care about who's fucking who's hoes, whatever type of rolling on the wrist or whatever. We didn't care about stuff like that. We actually cared about each other. So leading up into this society now, fuckers is worried about. You got 15-year-olds worried about this too. You got 15-year-olds running around with guns. They ain't got no fathers in the home. Barely any parents in the home. Shit is harder.
Youngins. No cap.
Shit is just like, it's hard out here. They're not educating them on mental health in schools. Instead, when you go on to social media, we are in a society as we speak fighting to sign a bill to not have twerking classes in school.
What do you think about that, CK? What do you think? I want to hear CK real quick. What do you think about our society perpetuating this type of like stuff that is making our mental health worse?
I think he's got a point. It is social media. I think when kind of like the bridge in communication kind of shortened or became basically like non-existent to the point where you could just talk to homeboy across the country or across the world, everybody kind of want to start seeking out everybody else's acceptance, and not getting their acceptance kind of makes it feel like the whole world hates me now. I can't show my face no more. So then they start looking at things for attention, like Dro said, twerking classes. Like, okay,
yeah,
that's gonna get somebody's attention, but then we got the whole thing of we hide behind a screen, so we don't know who's giving that attention.
That's just like exotic dancer classes at this point. Okay.
Yeah, basically. Do you guys think social media glorifies mental illnesses? Like it's like instead of like talking about mental health, talking about how like you should make your mental health better, it's more like glorifying like, oh yeah, just a BPD girly, and like they're like perpetuating this kind of thing. Like it's actually better to have a mental illness because then you feel like you fit in with others and stuff like that.
Kind of like how another thing. Might go into a gateway topic because then it goes back to earlier. Like they associate mental health with beauty, like Homeboy said earlier. Like, while the finest girls got BPD, all right. So other people are gonna look at that and it's like, okay, she's got BPD, but she's also hot as hell. You know, maybe I should try to get that. You know,
pick your poison.
Damn.
You know right. You want an ugly girl that's good in the head, or a fine girl that got BPD? Gotta pick your poison.
I'm not gonna lie. That one, the fine girl who got BPD. Yeah, I'm just gonna have myself out right there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? This is a nice transition. The fact that you guys think social media is so bad for mental health, this is a nice transition to my next question, which is, do you think social media can be good for mental health? And even if you don't, try to play devil's advocate with yourself. See what good can we bring out of social media? I want to hear Jake first on this.
What good can we bring out of social media?
Yeah, like can social media be helpful for mental health?
No.
Damn.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, because while there's a lot of good that we can do as far as social media goes, there's a lot of bad that we can do with social media as well. It really just depends on the way we utilize it. But I think that if I go on social media right now, I see a lot of people tearing a lot of people down. I see a lot of people shitting on other people for their own gratification. And then, I mean, if you even talk about like the society that we're in and just like the things that like we're glorifying, like at 15 years old, like my biggest problem was like doing homework and playing video games, right? Now kids have like mental health issues and like trying to fit in and like trying to be like this type of person to like pull like attention from girls, and then girls have like the whole inverse of like trying to fit in with like body dysmorphia and like stereotypes, and like all of that shit kind of contributes to like like your mental health being bad. So I don't think that it is good.
There's no way we can get any good out of it. Okay. Elijah. Or matter of fact, no, Joe, sorry. Elijah next, though. Elijah, you're up next after Joe.
I think personally that it can, but like he said earlier, it depends on how we utilize it. If you ever travel outside of your city, let's say for instance, we don't even gotta do all that. Do you hear any news right now from, I don't know, let's say where's Drake from? Toronto. Do you hear any local news on your TV from Toronto? No. Because it's controlled. So let's say, for instance, if we did, social media is pretty much the same thing. The only way you'll find out other stuff is by algorithm. So if we were to have social media also control it, where locally we can promote like mental health, like old school Boys and Girls Club. I don't know if you guys knew what that was back in the day, or if they still exist. But Boys and Girls Clubs was to help, get the people from being lazy and, introverted to actually getting outside and, get their exercise and talk about mental health, sex education, and stuff like that. If we were to put up posts and have like rec centers back in the day, how we used to have it, where they can actually have the parents and trust that the school or the rec center will be under good leadership, sign the kids up, get them into the classes where teach mental health. Why is it important? Why is it important to talk about, the issues you're going through, how to identify whether if you're going through it or not, expressing yourself. If we were to utilize social media in that type of way, it can help. It can make a bigger impact versus twerking or recording someone getting their ass whooped and who got the biggest BBL and blah 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 blah. That's my intake on that.
Okay. Elijah.
Yeah, so I think it's what social media like shows you, like you said, like the algorithm, and then also what you look up on social media. I think that determines if it can help you. It's definitely different for each and every person. Like I know there's a lot of informational videos that people can go on there and they can learn about life. I've learned a lot off of that, and I know that there's also videos that can lead you into just crashing out. Like there's all types of videos on social media. I think it's up to like the algorithm and then each person. So somebody might see some good stuff every day, some motivational videos every single day, and say, "Fuck that shit," and then just fucking skip off of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like that. And I think social media is it's like a tool. They're gonna try to use the algorithm to make everybody's mental health worse, but I think that we can use it for good.
Okay. That I think you kept it at just the right amount of length before you got redundant. You don't. Honestly, no one here disagrees, and that's kind of annoying. Positive. Dylan, what's up, man?
What's up?
I literally said no. They think they all said yes.
Yeah,
What?
Jake said no.
Well, no. I'm talking about before that. I'm talking about before this.
I have a question.
Oh.
Something was just brought to my attention. When you
Yes,
guys
bro.
were in school, y'all took health classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have mental awareness in your classes?
No.
Oh
Wasn't
shit,
it?
no.
Really?
I mean, one time they gave us a pamphlet and said, "Here you go, do your work, whatever, get out of my classroom." But I think that's the most they did.
The most,
Like, yeah.
yeah. The first time that I learned about mental health was when a kid committed suicide.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay then.
That went
Damn.
dark so quick.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But it's crazy
And-
to think like how like neglected it is in schools. That's the extreme that it has to go to.
Yeah, they just gave us condoms. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna lie.
For mental
Never
health.
used it still.
Wow. Yeah. You need condom. You never use. Okay. Is that because you're a virgin, or is that because like you get so much?
bro. I just will never use a condom. Yeah.
But you're a
Okay,
virgin.
that's
Hey, don't
All right,
follow.
let's-
Don't follow.
let's-
Don't follow me, okay?
Let's introduce my judges. One of my judges that will be judging all of you. Dylan. He's in here. He's the only white guy here to judge a bunch of minorities because he's better than you. All right, not his words.
So weird.
I just realized that. I'm sorry. I didn't know this was the dichotomy. See, I feel like that's another thing that contributes a lot to mental health too. Like this whole like race thing that people like to shove down everybody's throats. I mean, because I get it, culture is important and all that, but let's yeah, let's introduce you, Dylan. What are you here for? God damn, Mo.
Hey, keep that as a topic though. Does race affect mental health or something?
Yeah, no, that's actually one of the next topics. But I just want to have Dylan introduce himself here.
Oh, hey everybody. My name's Dylan. I go by Positive on the internet. I don't stream or anything. I just happy to be here. Judging you
Yes,
people.
sir.
Oh,
Just a chill guy. No.
I feel like
So
you
chill.
definitely has it. Like I've been in this space for 16 years. You definitely have it. It's just you gotta apply it, bro. Like you can be a content creator. If anything, an IRL streamer. Like I see it like automatically. The aura, you have the voice. Do it, bro.
I
Do you
appreciate
want
that
to?
for you gassing me up right now. It's not going to get you extra points in the judging though.
Wait, do you want to though? Do you want to
Like,
stream?
after the podcast? I can definitely lead you to some stuff, show you some stuff, far streaming wise, and
All right, guys, we're not. It's not a glazing.
It's not about me. It's about you guys.
curtain.
We were talking about
You just
race.
stream.
We're all going to talk about race.
Even my chat is like, bro.
Okay, so look, this ties into our cultures and how our mental health feels about our culture. I have a question for everybody. What's the worst advice you've ever received about your mental health? And honestly, for me, I'm not gonna lie, it came from my own family, but we're gonna save my answer for later. Elijah, you go first.
Okay. I'd say the worst advice I'd ever received from my mental health is like them saying that you could never be perfect. Okay, that really fucked up my mental health. When people say like nobody's perfect, then I'm like, damn. So you're sitting there and telling me everybody can just fuck up at any point in time, and now I cannot trust a fucking soul. You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot trust a fucking soul. People give you the worst advice when it comes to mental health, and they will limit your perspectives in life. You'll start to look at life like you really can't accomplish everything that you want to.
Interesting. Okay, CK.
Ooh, that is uh like, is it the worst advice regarding mental health, or is it the worst advice that we've gotten that has affected our mental health? Like, does it have to be regarding directly to mental health, or is it?
It doesn't have
like
to affect your mental health necessarily, but just say like, what's the worst advice generally that you have received?
Right. I'm gonna need a little bit more time to think about it. I need to sort through the memories.
Okay.
Okay.
Joe.
Worst. I'll say one of the worst. One of the worst experiences when it comes to that is just like when you go to like that person who you idolize. It could be a family member, a friend, or big homie or whatever. That was my uncle to me. At the time, he had like an alcohol addiction. So his alcohol be the one talking in responses when you come to like with sensitive information. He also is a natural asshole. So it definitely wasn't a good mix. But there's been times where I'm going through like a breakup for the first time. I'm going through love for the first time. Uh, Even when you go in a fight and you get your ass whooped for the first time, like your very first fight, little emotions like that, and you go back to that one person and they just tough love, just suck it up, like completely just disregard how you felt, disregard that it took a lot for you to just to come to that person in that vulnerable state, just to admit stuff like that, and it's just like the fuck out of here. Like that's just the whole vibe of it. So that numerous of fucking occasions with that just killed it with him alone.
Damn.
Outside of that, maybe a female that I was dealing with, and you're depressed and you ain't got nobody to talk to, but you feel like you can go to your significant other, and then that significant other don't want to hear it, or she receives it, keeps it in the back of her mind, and then when it comes to an argument or when it comes to like a disagreement,
That's why you got a little dick, nigga.
I can tell you, I can
it's motion in the ocean. Shut the fuck
up. But yeah, it's like, the main reason why we don't tell women our true feelings, because it always gets spit back to us and fuck our mental up. But shit like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Jake.
Like, can you repeat the question just one more time?
Yeah, what's the worst mental health what's the worst advice you ever received about mental health?
Worst advice I received about mental health. To not reach out, when you feel some type of way, or to bottle it in, I think that's kind of the worst
Who
advice
told
I've
you
received.
that?
Bro, people around me. It depends.
What the fuck?
You forget that your mental health is also very dependent on your background, your socioeconomic status, and just like how you live or the people around you. So I had a bunch of people who like didn't understand mental health,
And they
because
said
they came
bottle it
from
in.
because they came from
Mhm.
like backgrounds. They came from like backgrounds that were like much worse, like orphanage backgrounds, or like like poverty backgrounds, where like those circumstances were like live or die for them, whereas mental health might have been live or die for me. So for them, they were like, well, like, compared to what I've had to go through, like, mental health isn't a priority, right? Our priority is putting
Yeah.
food on the table. So that was probably the worst advice I've gotten.
I'm glad you didn't take it, because your name would have been Serial Killer Jake. Okay, you would have been done for. Bottle that shit up,
Exactly.
bro. Oh, that's fucking the worst.
Yeah, that would have been yeah.
That's horrible.
I want to say, whenever you guys explain yourselves very eloquently, there's someone out there in the world that wishes to induce madness upon you. All right, I just want to say that. Mo, so what's the worst advice you ever received about mental health?
The worst advice I ever
And then we're
received.
gonna come back to CK after.
Okay. So I'd say probably think of would have to be when pretty much just because probably my beliefs were they didn't believe what my beliefs were. They pretty much were saying they believe what I believed was wrong, and to pretty much be more like I don't know how to say like, have a different like they wanted my mindset to be like theirs, but obviously oh am I muted?
No, you're good. You're good. I hear you.
You good?
No,
Okay.
you're good. You're good. You're
Okay,
He's
cool. That's
muted.
one other thing. Oh, okay. So yeah, pretty much just to like change my beliefs and not believe what I believe, and pretty much they would try to gaslight in a way, make me think what I believe is not right, and that obviously fucked me up mentally a little bit. So it was from someone that was pretty close to me.
So what exactly did they say? They said like your beliefs don't matter type shit.
Pretty much like how type shit to like seem like I'm crazy or like.
What if you
or
are crazy?
I mean, I don't think so, but
I think you're fucking insane, bro.
just a little bit. But like, I think I'm a like positive, at least in a way.
Wait,
But I mean, like, I think different, obviously, other people, but it doesn't
What you
necessarily
gonna
mean
say,
I'm crazy.
can we get an
Elijah?
example? I want an example, at least one. Okay. What
Yeah.
would somebody
Like, what do
say
you,
to
yeah.
you?
Yeah, what would they say to you?
I guess something like so if I think something is not right, like all right, so let me. This is a good example. So let's say, for instance, it's like if someone was to like, let's say timing, like for example, like I have to be specific about timing. And I'm trying to be like on point, and they're like just going slow as fuck, don't give a fuck. I take that as disrespectful, so I'm gonna
Alright,
like
I'm
turn
gonna
up a little bit.
have to cut you off there. Cause your answer is ass. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I don't mean to
No,
offend
he's
your
not
mental health,
kidding. It
bro.
is. I'm kidding.
Alright, CK, you're not kidding either. Anyway, CK.
All right. So I think the worst piece of advice I got is I was younger, and it like you came from my own family. I can't remember the exact situation, but I remember I was like trying not to bust out crying. It was when I was like 11, 12. And then this family member was like, well, that's life. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Woo.
I remember I was heartbroken over this situation. So then, like, I finally told this person in my family, like, oh, so and so happened. I feel horrible. This sucks. Whatever. And they're like, nah, that's life. It came from a dude, so I guess that kind of reinforces the whole, bottle lit up argument. And I'm like,
Nah, I don't
wow.
think it
Like
is.
looking back at it now, I'm like, man, that sucks. I don't want to ever say that to anybody that's like in such an emotional stage. Like that's life. That's such a kind of like a cut off answer.
It kind of
And now I hate that
dismisses you. It
person.
dismisses whatever you are feeling, basically.
It
right?
dismisses your feelings. Correct? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
your feelings aren't valid.
So like, basically, like you're a little bitch, is what you're saying.
Basically,
No,
Hey
I'm just
man,
kidding.
that's
I
life,
was.
man.
I was.
That's
I was.
life, man.
That's exactly how that sounds.
Yeah. I could have been like,
Life.
man, my sister just got ran over by a car in front of me. That's life.
That's
Not
life,
really,
bro.
no. Like you don't
Hey,
wake
you were
up
born to die.
yup.
All right, so we have a conclusion in the polls. The polls have voted for two people, Mobozu and Elijah, as the two bottom people. So you guys are gonna have to like step it up a little bit because I'm not gonna lie, like Elijah, you're going into like misogyny territory, and I think that's why people hate you. But that's exactly
Fuck
why I want to.
women. What the
That's
fuck?
exactly why I want to
don't
keep
give a
you on.
fuck.
That's exactly why I want to keep you on because we
What
need
the
we need to
fuck?
understand the other side. Like we need to understand like why are incels incels? He says he's never wear condoms, and we all know why. It's because he's never felt the gushy.
Cause they don't
Anyway,
fit. They're too fucking small.
and Mo, for
Bullshit. You
you,
ever see that video of them like putting the condom like out of the car and he goes like boom. I know you
it
lying
literally
out your
looks like the
ass,
bubble
bro.
from SpongeBob.
I'm
But
lying out my ass.
Mo, I feel like they voted you because you're not talking. So maybe try to get in there a little bit more. Like I know
Okay.
you're smacked, bro. You look high
I'm a
as
little
heck,
smacked.
bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little.
Not a little, bro. You very much smacked. I know who you are. I know who you are. I've been to your home.
Okay.
I've been inside your walls.
Crazy.
I did smoke a fatty.
I know you did.
Like I
So
just
anyway,
finished. Like
let's move on to the next round. Wait, no, we're not moving on yet. I gotta ask you guys a deal breaker question, right? This is something that came up earlier, and we're gonna ask you two a question. So first Elijah, and then Mo. Does your culture affect your mental health directly?
Okay. So in my culture, okay, I was born like into a Jamaican household on my mom's side, and then my dad's side was Haitian. Okay. My dad's side, I was born to, like be a man at the end of the day, like suck it up. You know what I'm saying? I learned boxing when I was like 4. My dad just throwing the gloves at me, he threw the gloves down, said, "Bruh, catch the fucking punches, slip them." Boom, boom, boom. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And then I cried and cried until I didn't cry anymore, and I fought back, So, and then in my Jamaican side, you know what I'm saying? Like when you cry on your Jamaican side, they're like, "You want me to give you something to cry for? Huh?" Yeah, that's what they say. "You want something to cry for?" It's simple. Like on
So
either
you got
side, they're kind of like, huh?
You got Heihachi Mishima. Like basically like he fought you until you decided to fight back one day.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? And then on the Jamaican side, they're like, "Yeah, don't cry if you don't have anything to cry for." So I feel like honestly that works in my opinion. That
For
works.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people but like when you do have something to cry for, I feel like you cry a lot. All right, Mo. How does your culture affect your mental health?
So this is a good one. So this shit definitely affects crazy. So I'd say what's kind of similar. So I'm from a like Palestinian, very Muslim household. So I'm obviously when I was younger, I was a lot more religious than I am now. So like in the same way like him, I had very like harsh parents. They was dead ass like on if you cried, they would definitely give you something to cry about type shit as well. So I found that similar, which is pretty interesting. But so yeah, a lot of shit I believe it was a lot more like against the culture. So it would make me feel more fucked up when like I would do something and it makes me feel bad, even though necessarily it's not bad. It just the pressure from like it being religious, since they're more religious and I'm not as religious now. It would make me feel like in my future, like, oh, maybe I'm doing something fucked up, even though I'm doing something completely fine. That's not bad at all. So yeah, definitely the religious culture, and the culture and all that shit. A lot of pressure on.
All right, Mo.
Yeah.
All right, we understand. You're a little bitch. We get it. So Dylan, who had the best opinion out of those two right there?
Those two, it'd have to go to Elijah for sure.
Okay,
Well, I
awesome.
appreciate I appreciate the differences between the the I guess Islamic
households.
upbringing versus
Yeah,
Jamaican
yeah.
upbringing. I just found the accent that you put on the impression that you did was very compelling.
Elijah won because of the accent. He got it. So Mo, I'm gonna give you like the floor for a second. Like, what do you have anything to promote? Anything to say that you would like to tell the chat?
I guess always.
All right. So next we're gonna go for another question. Let's move on to the next round. All right, the next round, social media. All right. What social media platform has the worst users? We're gonna go in one by one. First going is Elijah.
Twitch. I don't.
Why do you say
Honestly,
Twitch?
I'm not gonna lie. If we're thinking as a whole, right? Like the whole platform. If you say Instagram, then there's a lot of people that just go on there and they don't even post any pictures. They're just on there, just chilling, right? If you say Twitch, everybody puts their personality out on the screen, okay? And a lot of those personalities, I think they attributed to the suicide rate. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
What?
I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, bro. Like, think about it.
Okay.
And then a lot of those people, bro, think about the big streamers, bro. Fucking Dr. Disrespect, pedophile. You know what I'm saying? Destiny Cup. Like it's over with. It's GG's. It's
Damn,
GG's.
I'm not. Damn.
Yeah, I think Twitch.
He's so the shit. Okay, so do you think okay? Fuck. That's you're very compelling. CK.
Okay, I think Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, because if we're talking about like people posting stuff, things like that, like you see like open it up, see a girl getting a train ran on her to a guy getting beheaded. Some dudes like it's just like I don't know, like even and they're verified, and I don't know if because they pay for it or they actually got the followers, but like they need to chill on the stuff they post. And then people like actually like that stuff and they repost it and it just like enables the algorithm to like push it out there. Like I think it just like the worst.
Are you sure you're not watching that content constantly? That's why it's like being promoted.
I watch it constantly. What are you talking about? I'm not even gonna hide it. Yeah, I watch that shit anyways. So that's not what I'm trying to say. Is it was like it's kind of like the hybrid like back in those days where people would like scam you with like live leak links. It's like, hey yo, check out this free game, and it's like be your homies. And you think it's like a Cartoon Network game on the computer, and then you open it up and some dude getting like shot in the head point blank, or things like that. But I think just because X is such a platform that like enables shit like that, like I think that's the worst.
That's life, bro.
You know that is, that's life. Yeah, girls getting trains ran on them to watching beheadings. That is life.
That is life, bro. For real, like real shit.
Crazy.
Maybe in like fucking a third world country.
That's life.
Dro, what social media has the worst users?
The worst users, definitely Twitch. Okay, so I've been with there's no social media that I have part of, both whether if it's still up or in the present. Facebook is second in line, but Twitch, because you can what the fuck? Oh, Twitch, because you can hide behind an alt account, make numerous of alt accounts that's not linked to any real accounts. And people, you got hate raids, you got racism raids, trolls, people buy bots just to like get at whoever they want just for shits and giggles. You got people who do hate speech towards the LGBT community, towards any demographic that they don't like, just for shits and giggles or just to like get a reaction from you. So if I had to be blunt, it's Twitch, secondly Facebook. And I know that thoroughly because, like I said, formerly partnered, so I've been there, I've seen it. Facebook, I know the ins and outs. Trust me. I was on Twitch before Twitch was Twitch. I was on Justin TV before Justin TV was Justin TV. There used to be a platform called Stickcam, and then they got bought out and turned into Justin TV, and then Amazon formed and bought out Justin TV and became Twitch. I know thoroughly Twitch. So that's a little history lesson for y'all, but Twitch for sure.
I knew about Justin TV. I did not know about that. I did not know what do you call it? Stickhound? What the fuck?
It was called Stickcam. So Stickcam.
Oh, Stickcam.
Back then, it wasn't around gaming. It was like pretty much it'd be like this, like a panel of people, and it was like that one broadcaster. Whether whatever niche you was a part of, if you guys were like scene kids, if you whatever niche, like if you like certain type of music, there was even rock stars in there. Like people from Red Hot Chili Peppers were host like a nice little live, and then so then it'd be like 5 webcam users that can easily get access to that, and then the bottom row as well, and they could join in on the live stuff like that. And then it became Machinima decided they wanted to start doing the gaming thing and take it to the next step where you can live stream, and then they started testing out live streaming on that. And then Justin TV was like, okay, let's take this to the next level.
When do you think Twitch got the most toxic? Do you think do you think it's like a recent thing, or you think this has been like a thing forever? Like
it's always been like that, because you gotta remember stuff like Stuff like racism was around before Twitch was around. Stuff like same-sex marriages, the hate for that was always around before Twitch was around. So it's always been there. They just had more. I say the era when did they make that possible? The moment Twitch got founded, when they got rebranded to Twitch, is when it actually got negative. So stuff like the old school Call of Duties when that came out, Black Ops 1 and 2, Modern Warfare 1 and 2, you got people spamming the N-word, or they say
that just been happening forever, dude.
So it's always been there, but it didn't pick up until the competitive like multiplayer online gaming really came out.
Now,
so
is that do you think, okay, wait, I gotta say though, like, is that even real racism, or is it just like teenagers being edgy? You know what I mean? Like, are they really doing anything?
So my take on that part. I feel like you wasn't born with that. Obviously, you were taught that, or you seen someone do it and it sounded cool for shits and giggles, and then you just fell into it, peer pressure, or you just wanted to be looked at as another cool kid. So if your environment is like that, and I tell my people all the time, this is a good example. If you are the people that you keep, the company that you keep is going to be exactly what you're going to be are. So if you hang with fuck boys, eventually you're going to be having characteristics of a fuck boy in some type of way. Whether if you talk like a fuck boy, you act like a fuck boy, whatever your people are doing, eventually it's going to naturally take a toll on you, and naturally you're going to become your habitat. So if the people are being racist, and let's just say, I don't know, common name, we'll say Lord Timmy. If Lord Timmy environment is other people spamming the N-word, or that S word that Spanish people, that's towards Spanish people, or
monkey, gorilla, I know what you're talking about.
Shit like that. Yeah. So if their environment is saying that, and they see that there's no consequence for that behind social media, behind the internet, there's no consequence, there's no,
because it's an anonymity. Yeah, they have the anonymous shit. But I think we're gonna have to move on because we're moving away from the main. Jake, I have to ask you the question now. What social media has the worst users?
TikTok. It's not even, it's hands down, not even a question. What?
Okay, why?
You have TikTok on your phone. How many different permissions do you allow your phone to be able to access, like, data that's tracked on you, right? We talk about like the next generation, and like all of that information, right, is used to like influence teens, right? So it's like you see all these like TikTok challenges that are dangerous, right? And you'll be like, oh, like how did like 60 kids die? Based off a fucking Tide Pod challenge. Fucking TikTok. Like stupid shit that we wouldn't even think of.
Damn.
I kind of want to jump in a little way with that logic. With that logic, like, what about like do it for the Vine? Like, I think
no, because
I think a lot of people should have died a lot more than that. You know, when do it for the Vine came out, the TikTok challenge.
Yeah, but Vine was like 6 seconds, like dance and like shit. Like I don't think like people were like jumping off fucking bridges or doing dumb shit.
You got 6 seconds to die. That's all I'm saying. You know,
it's 6 seconds to die. That's all it takes.
And it's like
Twitter is definitely the worst. Like hands down, bro. It can be a wholesome post about like kids, you know what I'm saying, out of school, like playing on the playground, and then boom, in the comments you see naked girls just promoting their shit. Like they has to be the worst. You cannot see that on any other platform.
That's like your algorithm is already fucked. First of all, you're not just seeing the first time you're seeing fucking like you're not just gonna see it fucking like all of a sudden suddenly pop up. That's 1, 2, right? The government thought that it was so bad that they stepped in to fucking deal with fucking TikTok, right? Vaping has like let's think of like a bad trend, right? That's like come about, right? Like in our time, that's like TikTok based vaping. It's an easy one, right? It's like now vaping's original purpose was to stop people who were smoking, like so that they had something to like wean off of, right? But now it's like
the chat believes that a lot of you are speaking like anecdotal evidence and like, you know, with your emotions instead of logic.
I could get into the factual part of my evidence if you really wanted to.
Okay. Shit.
Hey, bro, I can show you the post. I can show you the post. Okay, just titties everywhere. Okay.
No, I mean,
any post on Twitter.
The only thing that we know about X is that Elon Musk brought it out, and now they're having a big lawsuit battle over basically advertisements and Elon feeling like companies want to pull out because it's more free speech, right? The U.S. government is specifically trying to ban TikTok in our country because of the access that China has to stealing our data and shit, right?
So are you saying the government controlling the social media app is bad? What about China?
No, I'm saying that the government is trying to prevent China from using that to collect data on us, right? Accurately. Like that's inherently a fucking problem, that your personal data, right? Just by downloading TikTok on your phone just simply to watch memes, right? Is personally being sold and bought, right?
You got something to hide, Jake?
Knowing. What?
Got something to hide?
I don't have shit to hide, but I'm just saying that that's a problem, right? If you remove that lens, right, that's just at the government level, right? If you remove that lens and you go deeper, you can then analyze like all the trends that come out of TikTok that teens emulate, right, that are like dangerous, right? Or you can go through all of the different like stereotypes or perceptions that are fed because of the algorithm that exists on there because it's popular and trendy.
Okay, that's actually interesting you bring that up, because I don't know shit about that. So I think interesting point, but I don't think, right? I don't think social media. I don't think you know what? No.
But then you also
I don't know who to agree with here, because TikTok. Okay, no, because wait, hold on. TikTok. Who said Twitch? Oh, like 3 people said Twitch, right?
Yeah,
like 2 people.
I said Twitch and Twitter. So yeah.
Yeah, Drew. Okay. No, shut the fuck up, Blash. You can't change it up now just because CK said Twitter. You fucking liar.
No, because I said Twitch on my first answer, and then I said Twitter this question. You asked 2 questions.
Technically, that's one.
Just saying.
All right. Anyway, we're still on 1, so I don't know how. Anyway, and CK said Twitter, so I'm gonna say your team. You got Team Twitch, Team Twitter, and then Team TikTok. I do think, based off statistics, it is Twitter. Because they do have them, like, those are real opinions. Those are actual racists. Those are people who are affecting our society with their racism. When it comes to TikTok, you know what? Nothing about TikTok. They're affecting. I feel like the toxicity on TikTok is a little bit different. You still have like the aspect of racism and stuff in there, but I definitely do feel like a lot of that is Twitter. A lot of the worst things that come out of things is Twitter. But as for you, what you said, Elijah, Twitch is only racist when like on a small scale, which is not, again, that's not good either. But I'm saying, like, I don't think racism on Twitch affects like.
I didn't say Twitch. I said Twitter. Bro, you asked 2 different questions. I said I was talking about titties, which is on Twitch too, but I'm talking about like just bare titties is on Twitter. That's what I said under like wholesome posts.
Well, you are in the bottom for the voting right now. Right now, the chat is hating you. I'm not gonna lie, the chat hates you. Which honestly, I feel like that's your goal sometimes, and I don't think that's like. I think that's a good goal to have. Personally, I'm trying to be loved by some and hated by some, because everybody has some haters. But being hated by everybody, that's a little bit much, bro.
Hey man, look, you won't understand it. Okay, it's cool. You'll never understand.
You're the Dark Knight. You work alone. I understand. I think I do. I can understand.
Band together and hate you together. That's crazy.
If all races, right? Okay, Dro. I want you to reiterate your point again on why exactly Twitch is the most like toxic.
All right. So my point is, because you have so many chances of you have so many ways to make accounts, so you can be anything you want. You can be a racist, you can promote hate speech, whatever the case may be. On let's say like Twitter,
so fucking much.
Let's say Facebook, any other social media on there, bro. They have.
You go under a wholesome post.
They have a way where you can only make certain amount of accounts. On Twitch, that isn't the case. You can make as many bot accounts as you want, and go like I can go to, let's say, Positive. I can go to his channel right now if I was that type of person, make like 300,000 bot accounts just to come over there and say racial slurs. Me being on Facebook, I know that that's not the case because it has to link into a Google account. It has to be linked into what's the security account that they have? I'm trying to remember off the back of my head, but it's linked to Google. I can't remember the name of it.
Number, right?
The Authenticator app.
That too.
Two-step verification.
So many social media websites have that. And for you to make an alternative account on Twitch, you don't have to do that. Specifically, you don't have to do that at all. That's why you see so many hate raids, so many people botting for views and stuff like that. So when you have like, what's the game that's really hot right now that will bring so many toxic people, like Call of Duty, for instance? There's very few people who want to go in there and have a good experience, and then there's a lot of people. How many times you heard someone say the N-word in the pre-game lobby or whatever the case may be?
Every time.
Every fucking time. Now, how many times for all the people of color, how many times can you count that someone came to your chat being racist on a Smurf account?
Not that much, honestly. I feel like, but that's only because, like, not racism. Like, people do like randomly hate, but I don't get racism specifically. But I think I'm gonna cut it. I think I'm gonna cut it for this question. I'm gonna ask Dylan. So, out of the 4 people here, who do you think had the best opinion and then worst opinion, and how they explained it? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Right, my bad. I'm an amateur. I think the first time Joe answered, he answered a lot more concisely than this time, and it was a lot more, more understandable. But
yeah,
on this second go around, it was a little incomprehensible for me. I didn't quite understand the point Joe was trying to make. I liked Elijah's answer, and then again, like as he elaborated the second time, it fell off a little bit. So the first time when you were talking about the number of people that use Twitter, and they can like latch on to even wholesome content and start putting vile, disgusting shit under there. And then considering the impact on society as a whole, I think Twitter probably has a bigger impact like in that realm. So I would go with Elijah on this one.
Okay, so he had the best opinion. Who do you think had the worst?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say CK because he spoke like 10 words and I don't even remember what he said.
Damn. He had a similar point to Elijah. I think that's why. Maybe Elijah had was more entertaining with it. But I respect it. CK, you are on the chopping block, buddy. What do you have to say for yourself?
That's life, you know. Okay, you know, that's
okay. Do you have anything to say to the chat?
No.
Okay. All right. Shout out to CK. Please, mods, shout out his channel. He doesn't even stream that often. I don't know why I said mods like I have them. I don't have any fucking. I don't know what his channel is. You know what? Fuck it. Just put !! cast. You'll see it in there. All right. Next question. We're actually we're gonna be done with this. We're gonna be done with this whole topic. I'm gonna save those questions for next week. We're moving on to societal pressures, right? First question. Is materialism good for society? All right? I want to hear that from I want to hear from Jake. Yeah, I want to hear from Jake.
What is materialism? What getting materials wealth?
The worship, not the the worship of money, idols, and fancy objects.
No, but we live in a capitalist society, so it is what it is.
And life. Okay.
What? So is it good?
Is it good for this society? Is it good for this society? Morally, we're not talking morally. We're talking mechanically.
Okay.
Like, does it work?
Does it work? Yes, 100%. The acquisition of wealth works perfectly in a society. We work in a capitalist society. There's loopholes if you decide to fucking read the tax code, specifically built to increase material wealth, right? And every single year, the disparity between the rich and the middle class grows, right? So there's the dissolution of the middle class, and you're basically seeing a disparity between like the rich and the poor, right? So in this type of society, yes, like the entire system is built to facilitate that. That's why every single year there's a bigger debate on taxing corporations more, or reducing taxes for corporations for that specific reason.
And do you think this materialism, right, even though it is mechanically good for society, how does it affect mental health?
How does it affect mental health? Because you and I, right, if we don't make a certain amount of money, have to go to work every single day. We don't get the chance to take a mental health day, right? We don't make enough to take a mental health day, right? Boo-hoo, your dad died. I guess you're still working 60 hours a week while also fucking going to your full-time job because you have bills to pay, you have debt to pay, you've got car insurance to pay, right? You have a bunch of needs that need to be met, so you don't get to take that mental health day, right? But hey, Kim Kardashian's mom decides to die, right? And she can have a funeral for a week and mourn her grief, right? There's the big difference, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a big, and because it's like, okay, so it's like you spent like your life savings on that funeral, right, for your mother or for your dad, and then like Kim Kardashian, like she sneezes with that type of money, which is insane. It's like insane to think about. Dro, I like that. I just realized I like the haircut, my brother. I like the waves. Honestly, it got me wanting to show off. Got me wanting to show off. Anyway,
there you go. There you go.
All right.
All right, Sin, can you repeat the question for the people that's watching again?
All right, so it's two questions. It's kind of like a two-part question. But the first question is materialism good for society? And I'm not talking about morally good. I mean, is it mechanically good? Does our society, is that even the right grammar? I don't know. Run off. I mean, fuck. Sorry. Does our materialism running off society operate at its most optimal way, like in its most optimal way?
Yes, it's good for the society, false operation wise, because the cost of goods. So if something goes viral, let's say for instance, I don't know, fucking like for instance, vapes before vapes came out, since he mentioned it earlier. Vapes design was supposed to get people to stop smoking cigarettes, correct? So if vaping is being is trending, that means now that's viral. So if we the ones that are producing vapes in other countries don't have that, it's good for us because then we can leverage, and the cost of goods for us will be a little bit cheaper tax wise. We'll benefit from that. We'll get a bigger profit and it can help the society. Now, as far as the mental health part of it, hell no. Because let's say for instance, this society now idolize all the wrong shit, technology, fast cars, even though they're pretty much trying to live rich, but they're broke as fuck.
Yeah,
you ever know those people who get paid Friday, broke as fuck by Sunday morning? Because of materialistic shit. So do I personally believe mental health wise? No, because they're not living for themselves. They're living for the material. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
They're trying to be they're trying to be like Balenciaga, but they don't got Balenciaga money. I see you. Okay.
Exactly.
For the sake of time, real quick, we're gonna move on. Elijah.
Okay.
Is materialism
good for society and then good for mental health, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think society as a whole worships the dollar, which is understandable because they need it to survive, right? But then once you pass the point of survival, then it comes to, oh yeah, like, you know, I want the new J's, I want that Lambo. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I want that. I want that. And then they fall back into needing the dollar again because they go broke. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, nowadays I feel like a lot of people are influenced by, again, social media, and like, you know, or just walking around and seeing a lot of people with all these like designer, right? Like, buy me a Birkin, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you see a lot of it. Okay. So I think that plays a big part into like making materialism bad for society. Okay. And then I think that for mental health, like personal mental health, I think it's never good to worship anything that can be taken away from you easily. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to material things, if that's what you put at the top of everything that you care about, guess what, bro? I'm gonna fucking rob you. Okay, it's simple. It's simple.
Okay. That's interesting. I feel like all you guys kind of said very similar things, and to that I'm gonna challenge you all. So, if it's not good for mental health, if the society running off materialism is not good for mental health of the people, right? Then how can the society run optimally? Like, how can materialism be mechanically good for society if it's actively destroying the people of the said society? I don't think materialism is good for society. I'll say that. This especially the society we live in, because when you think about like laissez-faire and like, you know, all the technical mumbo jumbo, like with like, okay, we want to create demand for something and then like obviously deliver, obviously. So how can we have people like actually competing in this competitive market if everybody's fucking like suicidal? Like if everybody hates like themselves essentially and can't operate off like past like, oh, I want the new Lambo, I want this, I want that, and they're not actually like trying to innovate anything like mechanically good for society. I'll ask you guys that.
What is your
You guys
question?
can just free for all. You can free for all off that. And I'm just saying, just think of it. Just I want to know your answers.
To what?
What
What is your like question?
I'm just saying, I'm rebuttaling what you guys are saying. Like, if materialism is so good for society, then why is it actively destroying the members of the said society? How is that good for society if it's not good for the mental health of the members of society?
Oh, I thought
No,
Dro,
it's
you
a
were gonna
free for
talk.
all.
Was
Yeah,
no,
you guys
I
can
didn't.
just
I
talk.
was confused on who was going to go first, but
It doesn't matter.
um,
We're on the rumble phase.
Yeah, you got it, Dro.
well, I would say it's good for society because we need it to orbit to get the money in. However, we need to. The reason why that it's not good for society on a moral phase is because the message behind the we're losing focus. There we go. We're losing focus on the objective. We need it to get funds. We're not supposed to idolize the materialistic. So, as you said earlier, we're worshiping the material when we're supposed to use it as a tool. Similar to like how we're using, as us content creators, we use social media and streaming platforms. Some people fall into idolizing the platform, like that's their whole life, and not actually using it for what it is as a tool. It's meant for you to get from A to B and keep the cycle going to benefit you, not to cause you to go into stuff like depression and stuff like that. So, with the moral situation, we supposed to use it as a tool, but then everybody else around us got these tools, right? And now, if you don't have it, you got the peer pressure of wanting to get it because everybody else got it. And if you don't have it, you ain't shit. You're getting judged, stuff like that. Depression happens. So
Okay.
to answer that question, we're just losing the focus on what is actually is meant to be utilized for.
Yeah, and I think that it's supposed to be used, like we're supposed to get all of this material, all this money, whatever the fuck it is, to spread love, in my opinion. Whether it's like feed somebody in need, or maybe get somebody their favorite birthday present. But no, I think that right now, like a lot of people are very selfish when they get all of these materials. I think that's the big problem. Now, I'm not a communist, like I'm not trying to take from like anybody's pockets, but it's pretty simple. Like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's simple. I think the people that have most of the materials have all of those materials because they never like share it. And I think that's where the problem lies. So the problem, if we're talking about society as a whole, it will never get better if the people at the top don't, just share, spread love.
Okay, and okay, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like my question still wasn't answered. Jake, what do you have to say?
Because you didn't ask a good question, bro.
Could you ask the question one more time? I'll try to see if I can.
Okay, my question was,
you don't even know.
Materialism is good. Shut up. If materialism is good for society, right, mechanically, then why is it destroying its subjects, aka the citizens? Why is it destroying?
Because it's not good. Like what? Okay. Why are you asking that question? You just want us to like agree?
No. I'll answer his question the way he phrased it. Right. Why is it destroying? Because, like I said, the goalpost and the goal line always moves. Right. When you get an inch into a yard. Right. Right. Materialism was good. Right. What until around like Reagan's presidency. Right. Obviously, when instead of taxing corporations, we also decided to tax just general people in general, right? So now it seems like if you make 100K a year, right, minus your expenses and your living expenses or whatever, you're already going to lose 30% of that to just taxes and just your living situation, right? And it doesn't seem fair that a corporation, right, has tax exemptions because they can just move their headquarters to places where it benefits them, right? But you can't move your life to a place where it benefits you to receive that exemption, right? Materialism is still good, right? Everyone should be trying to get more, right? Trying to increase their wealth, right? But it's hard when the system is set up to make sure that those who already have it keep and maintain it, but those who don't have can't acquire.
So it's only good for a small.
It's only good. It's only no. It's only good when the playing field is even, right? That's essentially what I'm saying. The playing field is even.
Yeah, but communism doesn't work.
No, it's not communism. I literally said that. I literally said around the 1950s. I don't know when fucking Reagan was president, but around that time, you saw people who accrued wealth, right? You saw a middle class, and you saw people make from the middle class to the higher class. Because guess what? The only people being taxed at that time were corporations. Until Reagan decided that, hey, like let's tax everyone, right? And then now, if you're taxing everyone, that's fine. Right? If the system remains the same, right? If people start making more money and if the cost of living increases, then everything should offset itself, right? But you have
so you want to live in a world with no taxes?
No, I'm not saying that. You're such an idiot.
No, that's what I'm hearing.
I'm saying that before there was taxes, people could make it out of the system. Now that there's taxes, right? If corporations keep paying people increased wages for their work and they're not limiting them so that they can make profit, right? As cost of living increases, your wage increases, then the system works. But that's not how it works, right? If Google gets $1 billion, right? Rather than using that to increase your wages, they're going to use that to create more jobs, which then turns over more profit for them. While your wage
I don't get it. I don't think he has a point.
Wait.
I don't think he has
no. The point is, basically, materialism works once. Materialism works if the wealth is being distributed correctly. But materialism, the only reason why the only reason why materialism is working right now is because of the imbalance of the power of the distribution of wealth. That's basically what he's saying.
The rich keep getting richer by retaining their wealth. If Google gets $1 billion, and then that's why I give the argument. If Google gave $1 billion, they can increase everyone's wages by, like, let's say 5,000. You would see a noticeable increase, and your cost of living is also increasing, but it offsets it because you're making more money. But what does Google take that money and do? They take it and they turn it into profit, and they create more businesses. Now your wages still stay at 100K, right? The jobs that they created are going to net them money exponentially over the next couple of years, right? But the cost of living is still increasing, and you still have to lose 30% of your wealth to taxes, right?
It seems like both of my chats, the kick chat and the Twitch chat, have disagreed. The kick chat says Jake has the worst opinion. Twitch chat says Elijah has the worst opinion. That's very interesting.
Do the people who make
I'm gonna hand it over to Dylan now.
Give people
Dylan, what is your what? Who do you think had the best opinion? Let's start off with
you
that.
see what I'm saying, Yeti?
Who do you think had the best opinion?
So I think Dro had the best opinion. I think he put it across the nicest until Jake swooped in at the end and entirely redeemed himself.
He redeemed it. Wait, can I just?
I think so because I think initially when he first got asked the question, he was just like, "Yeah, materialism's good," and then we moved on. And so there was no like content of that answer. And then he really elaborated on the second go around, and now I think he has like a stronger point. But I think initially Dro made the strongest point.
That's what I honestly.
So you're saying that? So you're agreeing that what he's saying, when the taxes came in, now the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poor.
Not even that we're agreeing. It's just that he made.
Yeah, I don't agree with his point at all, but I think he stated his case the clearest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it was wrong.
Even if it was wrong. I'm not judging based on like whether or not it's right because I'm super capitalist.
And I lost,
Dylan,
and people were clowning me.
I think that
like, they were
Elijah stated his case the worst on this go around.
Bozo, like instead of LaFrench,
okay.
Bozo.
I agree. I think chat kind of chat on the Twitch side agrees. I think you had a generation.
I'm ready. Wait, is there a joke? Is there a
joke
that
all
counts?
good runs must come to an end. All great things must end. Do you have anything to promote? Anything to say to the chat? Anything at all?
I have one. So basically.
Oh yeah, I got you.
He tried to order a pizza.
Oh yeah, I'm muted. I got you.
Muted.
He asked